Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's talk about something that's on pretty much every parent's mind these days. In this world that's changing so fast, how do we give our kids a kind of internal compass? Something that helps them figure out their future with real confidence and a sense of purpose.
Does this hit close to home? I bet it does for a lot of you. It's a concern so many of us have. We see our kids, they're working hard, they're getting the grades, but there's just this feeling that something's missing. Maybe a spark or a sense of direction. It's frustrating, right? But what if the problem isn't what we think it is? Okay, let's get into it.
So let's paint a picture here. For a lot of our kids, the world today feels like walking through a really dense fog. The path forward that was so clear for, our parents or grandparents, it's just not there anymore. It's all obscured, which makes it incredibly tough to find your way. And this fog, it's created by some very real things. Skills that are super valuable today could be totally obsolete in a few years. The pressure they feel academically and socially, it's just immense. Plus, they're being bombarded 24/7 with information and all these conflicting values. It's really no wonder they feel a little adrift.
So when you see your kids struggling to find their way, our first instinct is to think, okay, I just need to push them harder. But here's where we need to make a really crucial shift in how we think about this. The problem, it isn't the child.
The problem is the map. Or, to be more accurate, the fact that they don't really have a reliable one. Our kids have all the potential in the world, but they're trying to navigate this 21st century world with, last century's tools. So what if we could give them a better map? A new kind of compass?
And that is exactly what this MAPS framework is all about. This isn't just another set of instructions to get to one single place. No, this is a personal compass that they can learn to use themselves to find their own way, no matter how much the world around them changes.
MAPS is a really simple but powerful acronym. It stands for mindset, attitude, passion, and skill. Just think of these as the 4 cardinal directions on your child's internal compass. They're the points that guide them toward growing and finding fulfillment throughout their whole life. So let's break each one down. First up, we've got M from mindset. And honestly, this is the absolute bedrock. It's the foundation for everything else. Mindset is the lens our kids use to see the world, how they view challenges, how they deal with failure, how they spot opportunities. It's what determines if a roadblock is a dead end or just a detour.
And the difference between a good and a bad mindset can come down to the power of one single, tiny word, yet. A kid with a fixed mindset hits a tough problem and just says, I can't do it, and that's it, story over. But a kid with a growth mindset, they say, I can't do it, yet. And that one word, it changes everything. A dead end suddenly becomes the starting line for learning and trying again. But here's the thing, it's not just about trying harder. A really strong mindset is held up by 2 pillars. The growth mindset, that's what gives them the courage to even try in the first place. But critical thinking, that's what gives them the wisdom to navigate a world full of misinformation. It teaches them to ask why and to actually think for themselves.
Okay, so let's move on to the A and see how this builds. A is for attitude. Now, if mindset is the lens, then attitude is the engine. It's all about how we show up, how we engage with the world around us, and it's what ultimately determines our altitude in life.
And here's a really simple shift we can make as parents that has a huge impact. Instead of asking, what did you score today? Try asking, what did you learn today? When we only ask about scores, the message is that the result is the only thing that matters. But when we ask what they learned, we're celebrating the process, the curiosity, the effort. We're building an attitude of lifelong learning.
Because at the end of the day, a proactive attitude, taking initiative, owning your mistakes, really caring about your work, that is a way better predictor of future success than just raw talent alone. It's the difference between just doing the assignment and really owning your work.
Next on our compass, P for passion. This is the fuel for the journey. Mindset and attitude will get you started for sure, but passion is what keeps you going when the path gets steep and the journey feels really long.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? That kid who is just so completely absorbed in something, maybe it's building with Legos or drawing or exploring in the backyard, that the rest of the world just completely fades away. That light in their eyes, that's passion. It's not about being the best at something. It's about being deeply, truly engaged and curious.
So how do we actually help nurture this?
Well, you can't just force a hobby on them. It all starts with helping them discover what they genuinely love. Then, we can encourage them to connect those interests to the bigger world, maybe through teamwork or volunteering. And all of this is built on a foundation of just teaching them to embrace and appreciate life itself.
And that brings us to our final point on the compass. S for skills. These are the practical, hands-on tools your child carries in their backpack for the whole expedition of life. But in a world that changes this fast, which tools are actually the most important ones to have?
Well, here's the key. The single most important skill isn't coding, or another language, or anything specific like that. It's meta-learning. And all that really means is, it's the skill of learning how to learn. When a child masters this, they can pick up any new tool they need at any point in their life. It makes them adaptable, totally future-proof. And right alongside that master skill of meta-learning, we need to focus on those deeply human skills. The stuff that AI and robots just can't replicate. The ability to communicate well, to work with other people, to solve messy problems creatively, and to express their own ideas with clarity and passion. These are the truly timeless skills for tomorrow.
So, let's just zoom out and put it all together. The mindset gives them the courage to try and to question things. The attitude gives them the engine to take action and be responsible. Passion is the fuel that keeps them curious and motivated. And skill gives them the tools to learn how to learn. You see, it's not just a list, it's a whole interconnected system for growth.
Ultimately, the MAPS framework is a powerful reminder that our job as parents and teachers isn't just to be a bucket filler, pouring facts and figures into their heads. Our real job is to be a fire starter, to ignite that internal spark of curiosity, confidence, and purpose that will light their own way for their entire lives.
And that brings us to the end. The MAPS framework offers a really clear and powerful way to think about our children's development. So, the final question is for you. As you look at your own child's unique journey, what's the very first landmark you want to help them navigate toward? Thanks so much for tuning in.